Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to our 19th therapy session. 19 therapy sessions. You know, in the famous words of Rax, who's probably been on all 19 therapy sessions, this was supposed to be a one-time thing. After United, we're going to get together and just cry together when we lost 2-1 at Old Trafford. Lo and behold, that 2-1 loss wasn't even that bad compared to the rest of the season, compared to what was about to happen. Little did we know. Ladies and gentlemen, another humiliation. Manchester City 4, Liverpool 1. What can a man even say at this rate? What can a man even say? And you want to hear the best part? We've got to play Chelsea tomorrow as well. So it's not like we've got a significant break away from our team. It's not like we can air Liverpool for the next week or so. No, we literally play tomorrow on a Champions League night away at Stamford Bridge. Brilliant. Exactly what we needed. So, everyone watching us right now or on the replay, you guys already know the drill. Make sure you slap the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Evan, right now, please like the video and subscribe to This is Football. Big up to Ryan for the super chats. There's two super chats I can't put on the screen. One of them, he says, I'm so glad that Bellingham is red. And then he says, FSG out no matter how much we spend in the summer. I agree with both. I've put my hair on the line. I'm going to be bald if Jude Bellingham doesn't join Liverpool. So, you know, me and one of the guys in the background going to have the same hairline. So I can't have that. I'm sorry. My hairline is looking voluptuous right now. So everyone watching us right now, as I said, like the video, subscribe. Big up to Neil. Big up to Michael. Big up to Mikem, Olaf, Kosa, Klopper. Big up Ryan as well for the super chat. This is the only one that is actually appearing for me to put on the screen. He says, Hussam, please cook Kurdish for his Gallagher prop. You know how certain wingers fake injuries just so they don't have to go through the battle of a certain right back? Tom Little is a right back. The KDL leader has just abandoned us all. He's a left winger, just like his favorite player, Mane. Big up to you, Ryan. Big up Danny up the Reds. Make sure you listen to Jared and like and subscribe. Big up Kay, Carty. Big up to Wonderful Queen. Big up to Pond Elf, my brother. Hope you're good. Why would Hamza be on a Liverpool therapy? I have no idea. Big up to Sidi, Tarun, Ilya. Big up to Nasser, send me that thing, please. Big up to CJ Potter. No, I want to slap you. Big up to you and big up to you guys, man. Slap up the like, subscribe, and let's introduce today's panelists, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, the one guy that's gonna be Klopp Defense League alongside myself today, because the leader of the KDL has abandoned us all. The man that told me that this was supposed to be a one-time thing. Yet we are on our 19th therapy session. No cap today, so he is showing his voluptuous hairline. Joining us on the channel is none other than the man himself, man like Rax. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. Look, this hair's not going anywhere, man. That's good genes. No baldness in my family.
Okay, Mikhail.
Yeah, look, good to be on. I wish it was under better circumstances, but I mean, this one's not really a surprise.
Lord, have mercy on my soul. Big up to you, Rax, man. Joining us on the channel is a man who has already said Klopp out on this channel on a show 2 days ago. So you can't come up here now and deny the fact that he said he's Klopp out or none of that. He can't come up with, I'm waiting to the end of the season. No, you've already said Klopp out, so you're going to have to hold that still. So joining us on the channel is Tom Little. Today, actually wearing a Liverpool shirt for the first time in like 3 months. How are you doing, Tom?
I feel like Giovanni Di Lorenzo did when Sadio Mane rocked up at Anfield in that crucial Napoli knockout tie all those years ago, just for Sadio Mane to bottle it and Mo Salah to have to bail us out. That's what I feel like, because I thought I was going to come here today and, you know, this was one of Jurgen Klopp's worst showings. I thought I was going to come and have a good debate with Kopish about what went right, what went wrong, the red zone, because we love to talk about the red zone here. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Where's my guy gone?
He's ducking the Tom Little test.
Where's my guy gone? I mean, let's be honest. Let's just put this plain and simply. How many more of these are we going to have this season? How many more are we going to have?
We're currently on 19. I think we hit 25.
We could hit 25. That's a real possibility. We could hit 25. Remember when Rax said we'd never hit 20?
No, no. 20 before the end of March. And luckily, the international break came to our rescue, and therefore we haven't played the last 2 weeks.
So essentially, if the City game was last week, we would have hit 20 then. Unbelievable.
We're going to hit
God.
20 therapy sessions before 30 league games.
That's actually a wild statistic right there. That is a wild statistic. But then you've got to include the Carabao Cup.
Do you want to know what it is as well? This should be our 20th, because do you know what we forgot to do?
Which one?
We forgot to do a therapy session after the 3-0 loss to Brighton. We never done one after Brighton, because we done a different type of show. We never done one after Brighton.
Didn't we do one? We did a Brighton one.
We done one after the FA Cup loss, but we
twice.
didn't do the one after the league loss.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy on my soul. What can a man even say?
Listen,
Joining us as well on the channel, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, Hassan hasn't even said it's my birthday. Why is this birthday thing still going on?
Happy birthday, Tom. Big up to him, man. Make sure you wish Tom a happy birthday. He turns 18 today. So anyway, joining us on the channel.
I'm the only person who gets younger with birthdays, apparently.
100%. You were 20, 18, 19, whatever we feel like it, from 18 to 20. And finally, last but not least, a man who actually hasn't been on the channel in a really long time. He hasn't been ducking any tests or anything. I know he's been going through a few things, health-wise and stuff. So I'm glad he's okay now, making his return to the ring. It's been like 2 months since I introduced this guy. It's been like 2 months. Today, he's going to drop his iconic, I'm just bored. I'm just bored of speaking about this team. I'm just bored of speaking about this manager. I'm just bored of speaking about these players. I want something fresh. I want something new. I want some new ideas. So joining us on the channel is none other than the man himself. Man like G. How are you doing, bro?
I'm bored, bro. I'm bored. Honestly, I'm so bored. But I'm here today to listen to. This is why I wanted Kurdish here today. Kurd, if you're watching, it's somewhere in the background. I wanted you. I missed you too, bro. I'm here to listen today. I want to hear the defense. How much more we can, we can listen to. But I'm here to listen to them, and I hope everyone's good this evening. Let's get into it, man.
I hope my partner in midfield, Jordan Rax, right here, steps up his game today, because we're going against two lines.
If he's anything like the Henderson that we've got, bloody hell, I don't know. But
yeah, I need him to step it up.
You've just asked him to step up and then compared him to Henderson.
Exactly. That's why I was like, boy.
Yes, sir. So, guys, as I said, 150 people in here already. Like the video, subscribe. Big up Ryan for the super chats. Let's just get into it. Let's just cut the crap here. So, Rax, my lovely people, my lovely brother, my brother in Klopp Defense League. What the hell happened on Saturday?
Look, we have been saying for a while that sooner or later we are going to get an absolute pasting from somebody. And to be fair, it actually has already happened, because Brighton, apart from beating us 3-0, they played us off the park. So
Wolves as well. Let's not forget Wolves.
Yeah, but I mean, Wolves are bad. I don't say they played us off the park, but relatively speaking, from what they're as bad a team as you could possibly imagine, or at least they were at that point, and they were the better team. But
we let Craig Dawson bag on his debut for Wolves. I will never live that down.
True. But obviously, City are one of the best teams in the Premier League and one of the best teams in the world. And whilst we did okay for a half, then what happened? The thing that has happened to us so much, we concede an early goal, either with it being the first half or the second half, caught us cold, and then we concede another one, and at that point it's just game over, and it's just trying to limit the embarrassment. And even though obviously we conceded another goal, so it was even more embarrassing, but it just shows the chasm between these two teams at the moment. We have fallen off a cliff. I think City are arguably worse this season than they were last season, but we are just on a different level of bad. And it could have been more.
Tom, I've already heard your opinion, so I'm gonna skip you. G, tell me, brother, what are you saying?
Yeah. Wonderful Queen said it there, man. Different game, same crap. What else can we even realistically? We've had 19 therapy sessions. I feel like we've run through it in the previous 18 episodes of what, like, Liverpool. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what else to even really say. How much? I don't know. Is like I keep saying I'm bored. Are you guys not bored? Like Tom, are you not bored? Rax, are you not bored? Sam, are you not bored? Like when you're watching Liverpool and the same things keep happening over and over again. It's like they just like the pain. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I'm starting to just generally just disassociate myself with Liverpool anyway because they're just ruining my weekends. So I had to get away from them on the weekends to just relax and have some good family time. And yeah, I'll be, I'm good to go. But that game against City, you just saw the two quality in the two teams, and we can't even act like we had like a shit team out either. Like we kind of had like a decent enough team to perform a lot better than we actually did. Do you know what I mean? And I think Klopp obviously is going to play some part in this, but the players though, some of the players, what they were doing on the pitch, we'll get into it. But yeah, everyone just all together, it was just a shambles, bro. Like honestly, it was just a shambles to watch, and it was like I was watching Liverpool, almost like when, maybe even like pre-Klopp, like when we come up against certain teams, you just know we're gonna lose. Like you just knew, yeah, we're gonna lose this game because of the way that we're playing. Man City didn't even come out of like second gear, and they were just popping the ball about, doing their thing. They didn't even play that great. I've seen them play way better against like Brentford than they played against us. And I don't know, Sam, man. I don't know where we even go from here. I'll be so real with you.
We go to Tom Little. Go ahead, Tom Little.
What is there to say? We were shit, and we've now got the B-Tech Andrew Tate managing Chelsea tomorrow. Who we are going to lose to. We are going to lose to Chelsea. Then we're going to lose
Andrew
to
Tate. Who?
Have you not seen?
Bruno.
Who is he, by the way? Like, who is he? Like, who was he before?
He used to be right back for Brighton.
Yeah, he used to be like a right back for Brighton, who then became a coach.
Oh, he was a coach. I thought they just plucked him from somewhere. Bloody.
Why are we calling him Andrew Tate for? He bald?
Have you not seen him?
Yeah, he's bald.
He's bald. He's got a big beard.
That's an insult I'm gonna steal. I can't lie.
But look, I mean, where do we start with that game? Let's be honest. Let's because I know how much people love to listen to and treat what this man says as gospel. So you're actually incorrect, G. We did not have 11 bad performances. Fabinho, Henderson, Gakpo, and who was the other one? Allison. They had good performances according to our all-seeing, all-believing manager. So,
okay.
What needs to be said when he's sitting there just blatantly lying to me? He's treating me like I haven't got eyes. I know that Fabinho and Henderson were crap. I know that Fabinho was not allowed to make a tackle after the 10th minute because he got done 3 separate times by Ilkay Gundogan, who is actually 2 years older than him. You couldn't tell that, could you? You wouldn't be able to tell that by the way they were moving around. No. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. And like clockwork, you have a bad result. The Liverpool PR machine spins. Oh, Jude Bellingham is now confirmed that he does want to join us after 4 months of and ahhing. A 4-1 loss to City is the thing that makes him go, yes, that's got me hook, line, and sinker. What are we on, man? What are we on? Just get me to the end of the season. Get me into Conference League next year. I'll enjoy my away days to NS Miura and fucking Azerbaijan University FC. That'll be a good pick up, and then we go win that trophy. We sit there as the only European. We sit there as the greatest European club of all time because we're the only ones to ever win all the trophies. Jobs are good.
Okay.
I'm saving my Jurgen Klopp talk until the leader of the KDL turns up because I don't want to waste it on people who
maybe he's
honestly
asleep.
even to his defense.
I've even. Let's just call him. Maybe he's asleep.
How very. He's ducked the Liverpool therapy test. How can you duck the Liverpool therapy test?
Oh, he actually called it.
Yeah, actually, he ain't replied though. But anyway, listen. Let me just address these super chats before I get back to Tom Little and G. Our favorite chocolate bar is back. Liverpool nailed on for Bellingham and assured by the boss of spending on players. Are you going to keep this narrative? First of all, you should have taken that £5 and taken it to a food bank instead of using it on this football super chat system. Second of all, my brother, when it comes to FSG, once again, the one thing that always goes over your heads is the fact that we speak on sustainability. It's about sustainability at the top. It's not about just getting to the mountaintop. It's about staying at the mountaintop. That is the thing that we have a problem with. And Jude Bellingham, really, you know, him and Henderson been having sword fights in the shower together. What more should I? Rax hasn't got it yet. What more should I even say? What more should I even? Of course, we should get to Jude. We've been waiting for 2 years. And any other aspect of life, if a 33-year-old is just stuck to a 19-year-old like that, it will be wrong. Except in football perspective. So
I don't get it.
Can I just say something about this comment?
Why we're going to keep the narrative though? Why actions speak louder than words? It's all well and good saying something, but I need to see it happen. So I'm going to keep the narrative until they prove me wrong.
But the thing is, comments like this are funny because if we're winning and people talk about transfers, then they say, "Why are you talking about transfers or winning?" But now we're losing and they're talking about transfers. Like, that you can talk about both. Both things are absolutely relevant to talk about, and they should be discussed openly. There's no reason to like censor your discussion and say, "Okay, now we're only going to talk about." Like, it was a bad performance the other day, and we got our asses handed to us. I think it's absolutely legitimate to discuss that. Why should we be shying away from it, talking about, okay, we're nailed on for Bellingham, which is, I think most people say it's not nailed on by any means. Who knows? Let's hope it is nailed on. I hope for Toby's. I hope Toby's correct and he is nailed on, but it doesn't just detract from the fact that we just got whipped.
Yeah, 100%. We just lost to City 4-1. And it's one of the reasons why we're here is definitely FSG's lack of investment, lack of ambition. It's as simple as that. Big Up Selection says, Klopp roasting session yet? You've got Tom and G for that, my brother. I think they're going to lay into him. We ain't even started yet, though. So big up to you, Selection. Amin says, imagine Mudryk gets a brace against NFC tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
It wouldn't surprise me.
That man has missed like 15 one-on-ones already. He hasn't scored a single goal for Chelsea. If he comes up and he scores a brace against us, I'm everybody out. Like, I'm just done. Just sack Carol and Caroline as well. She should have made better chicken for them. Like, I'm done, bro. No. Like, you cannot allow Mudryk, who's become a meme, to score twice against us. But it would be the most Liverpool thing ever if that does happen.
No, did not be the most Liverpool thing ever. Mason Mount hasn't played for the past however many games. He's coming back from an injury. We're apparently, loving him. We want to sign him. He rocks up. He bags on our head for the first time in about 4 months. And Chelsea win. I wouldn't really care if Mudryk scores. Like, yeah, you've done James Milner. That was what you built your career off. Well done. If Mason Mount scores after we spent the past 4 months practically fawning over him through the media, that would just sum it all up. Like, you know what else?
The worst case scenario, Tom. 1 goal Mount, 1 goal Gallagher.
Oh, Kerder should have a hard on. Kerder should come on the therapy session and celebrate.
I can't believe he actually likes Gallagher, though. I swear, Kurdish sometimes he's just weird with this shit that he says. Gallagher is even worse than Mount. We're like, what are we doing?
Doesn't like Mount.
Nah, but you see the problem with like that. Yeah, I'll back Kurdish in saying, if you looked at the two players, Gallagher fits Liverpool's profile way more than a Mount, because Mount doesn't have any fixed position within a team. Gallagher plays in a position more often than not, and what he offers you, I feel like Klopp wants that. Remember, Klopp doesn't want techie. Like, we don't need no one who can do this techie football. He needs a guy who can run till the cows come home. You need someone who's very industrial, doesn't need to have that much technical ability because he can, do the basic stuff, a bit like Henderson. And he's just like Henderson, he'll pop up with a goal randomly, just like super random. Like we saw him for Crystal Palace, he was popping up with goals over there. But obviously for Chelsea, he's just playing a bit different. That's where I think the two profiles, you're better off going for a Gallagher, but I don't want any of them. Like, why are you even going in for any of these like meaty players? But between the two, I'd probably go Gallagher over man.
Klopp's talent ID. Klopp needs help in the market. This is why we need a sporting director. 100%.
He needs help.
Like, here's the thing: people get angry when we criticize Klopp for things like this, but it is true. Like, it is true. At the end of the day, no manager is perfect. Klopp's talent ID is 100% the problem. Felipe says the moment he took Salah off, he gave up. Pathetic by Klopp. Arrogance and a liar. Save Alisson and Salah from this bozo. You see this Felipe guy? He's a Bayern fan and a Newcastle fan. He's telling me this summer I'm coming for Mo Salah. I'm like, bro, leave me alone, man. You gotta take off to one guy. And you know why I actually
they'd offer us money
as well. Because I was going to dunk on him. Because 47% of our goals this season have been contributed by Mo. And there's somehow still people going like, oh, Mo Salah, 350 grand a week. Like, it's just so weird. But for me, that substitution rattled me. I'm going to be honest. On the watch along, it rattled me. Because I'm like thinking it's 3-1. Maybe we get one back. You never know what happens. But look, if we take Salah off the pitch, we ain't scoring no goals, brother. Let's cut the crap.
It's just
and finally,
the way he made them subs, because he sits there and harps on about the mentality that we're the mentality monsters. We always stay in these games late, and then he takes off our best player and our goal scorer for Oxlade-Chamberlain. And we're supposed to sit there and believe that's the change that can get us back into the game. Nah.
Big up.
What
Klopp made us endure in this holy month is haram. Wallahi, took me back to bad times. Tomorrow we draw. Bring us some good news for the love of God. Okay, the good news for the love of God is for the people who have been watching the channel. I told you guys about an RKO. You saw it today, released in social media for the first time. Romeo Lavia, ladies and gentlemen. If the midfield that we want indeed happens, and that is Lavia, McAllister, and Jude Bellingham, we are ruining people's lives. We are ruining people's lives next season. Let me tell you right now, I have a hard on just thinking about that. Like that is
no.
Do you understand?
No, you're not allowed to celebrate McAllister. You are not allowed to celebrate McAllister because I was saying McAllister and you were sitting there telling me he's an average player. You are not allowed to celebrate him.
That's a perfect point, Tom Little. But once again, you've got to look at them as a collective three. Lavia is the defensive element. McAllister is the guy that's a ball progressor. Something you tacticals love to say. And then Jude Bellingham is everything. So now,
exactly.
I get
that was
all
exactly
elements.
all I wanted McAllister for, but with Ugarte.
No, you are a liar. You wanted him instead of Jude.
I did not want McAllister instead of Jude.
You said Jude ain't coming and you want McAllister instead. Don't lie.
Yes, if Jude... I still want McAllister. I've still been leading this McAllister thing for a long time. Me and Selection go back with it. McAllister's a top player. I didn't realise Lavia was on the cards, to be honest. I thought he was dead set for Chelsea. But if Lavia
There's no such thing as dead set, my brother. There's no
Lavia to Liverpool.
Also, for the people, let me tell you something. For the people who speak on his contract, his buyback clause triggers in 2024 only if he stayed at Southampton. So, before we carry on and I answer the hard-hitting questions that I got asked by the guy. By the way, let me clarify before Nasser cries in the summer. Jude Bellingham, my hair is on the line already, so I'm confident we'll get him. McAllister and Lavia, I'm not saying it's done. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'm not saying it's over. We're 100% getting them. I'm saying we want them. Now, what happens? Bro, only God knows. I do not know what happens with this club anymore. So anyway, look. 250 people watching us right now. Slap that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Big up to Ryan, Toby, Selection, Amin, Felipe, and Josai for the super chats. Every single person watching us right now, slap that like button. We ain't even on 100 likes yet. Guys, have a bit of shame and decorum, man. Slap that like button. Come on. Now, let me address what my brother G and my brother Tom Little said. Now, here's the thing. It's becoming very hard for the likes of myself to defend Klopp. I understand. 100%. It's a little bit difficult to defend Klopp. That's why Rax cracked a smile as soon as I said that. Okay, it is hard. I know. Yes, it's hard. But at the same time, the Chelsea experiment taught us a lot. The Chelsea experiment taught me you always keep the elite manager and let him figure it out. Now, what I'm saying is, and I'm sure Rax is the same, it's not like I'm going to back Jurgen Klopp forever. Like, okay, if I feel like genuinely he cannot take us forward anymore, I would then be like, okay, we need to get Klopp out. But at this moment in time, I just stick by the opinion. If we get the midfield correct in the summer, buy a center back, do proper things this summer, we go back to competing. And I'm going to use Chelsea. I used them as a negative example. Now I'll use them as a positive example. Chelsea went from 10th place to winning the league like 10 years ago. It's not impossible. The same players turned up. And on top of that, they had the additions of the actual good players alongside them. So for me, we just need to get the summer right. Now, if you come to me in July and we have signed Mount and Gallagher, then I am not going to say we're going to win the league. I am not dumb also. I also have a brain. So for me personally, I'm going to give Klopp the chance to rebuild. I'm not going to just, give up on him already. He's an elite manager. He's won it all. He deserves the opportunity. But one thing I do want to see from Klopp this summer, and I'm sure Rax agrees as well. I said, what did I miss? You're spelling names now. Hey, when they're in the media, I get the green light. McAllister, I've already said his name. He should have been watching the channel, my brother. Lavia today, it was released. That was the RKO out of nowhere. Now, here's the thing. For me, and I'm sure Rax will agree, this summer we need Klopp to show his ruthless side a little bit. We also can't be like, oh, we're fucking around and just sat there, like just waiting for some sort of thing to just fall from the sky and a miracle to happen. Like, we need to also be ruthless. Meaning, Eddie Howe, my lovely brother who's been doing us favors since the Bournemouth days, he wants Joe Gomez for 40 million. Kick him out the door. Don't just open the door, tell him leave. Kick him out. Take him, throw him outside the door, and go use that 40 million and get yourself a proper center back, brother. That is just as simple as that. So for me, I just need Klopp to show a bit of ruthlessness. This season, for me, the summer was on him. January was on FSG. I think the summer was on Jurgen, definitely. And we are crap. That tactics in the game, it's just, me and Tom have had this conversation before. Elite managers don't have plan Bs. They've got plan A, make plan A better as their plan B. He tries. It sucks. I know it sucks. You think I want to do watch-alongs where I'm like, hey guys, they just scored the fourth? Of course I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I will allow the elite manager to fix it. I am not going to go now and Tom Little, oh, Xabi Alonso, Amorim. Bro, who are these guys? Who are these guys? You ain't even bringing me Enrique. You ain't even bringing
winner.
me Zidane.
Amorim is a winner. The thing is, I understand your Chelsea comparison. Yeah, I can get that. But the difference is, I'm not bringing in a manager who has done 1.5 years at a mid-table club. Then he done a year in the Championship, and before that he was in fucking Sweden. I'm bringing you a manager who has won 4 trophies in 4 years. He's won a league title with a team that shouldn't have won a league title. He managed to break up that monopoly that Benfica and what are they called, Porto had set in that league. He broke that monopoly up, and then all the best players got sold, and he never got to reimburse that money. And he is still performing very, very well. I'm not saying he's going to be.
Will Amorim command the respect of the players? Simple question.
Yes.
So you don't think he's going to be out of his depth?
But
also,
this is the part that gets me,
we
because
talk
people told
about
me this.
Monopoly. Like, Sporting are one of the top 3 teams. Regardless, they are one of the top 3 teams in Portugal, and
it's not like you want it with Academica or something.
Yeah,
but I could say the same with Klopp. When Klopp took over Dortmund, they were still a decent side. They weren't the best, and they weren't the second best because that was Wolfsburg.
They were
they were still one of the top 4 sides.
He built them.
They were the 13th best.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
he didn't just do it. Amorim
took over Sport when they were 8th. Amorim took over Sport when they were 8th.
You just have a fetish for the good football, which I understand. But at the same time,
football.
See selection. I hate when people are intellectually dishonest. Amorim did not do what Klopp did at all. Why are we lying here? Amorim did not do what Klopp did. Please go and look at what actually Klopp did at Dortmund. Guys, they were 12th. They were a nothing club. Mm-hmm. Dortmund have worldwide fans.
Europe. He also did it in Europe.
Because of Jurgen Klopp. Dortmund are a club respected around the world because of Jurgen Klopp. He built that
European
record.
My head's gone. I've done about 4 different streams. My head's gone. Why
Honestly, like, why are we just
Ruben
being
Amorim has
disingenuous?
I'm not being disingenuous, but
I'm
obviously
telling
it wasn't-
selection, Tom. Why are you fighting? Telling selection. He said Amorim did what Klopp did with Dortmund. I disagree with that. Relax.
He did
Also,
something
Klopp won
similar.
back-to-back leagues and got to a Champions League final and won a German Cup. Have some shame. Amorim is legit. He will make Jones the new Goncalves.
Messi FC, you're not helping. Messi FC, you're not helping. Let me fight this fight. I don't need Jones prop right now. It's not going to help.
I want to slap the crap out of you. By the way, predicted lineup has Jones starting tomorrow. So all hell is going to break loose on this watch along, let me tell you.
Sam, did
See
you
you
not watch my
tomorrow,
preview? Did you not watch my Man City preview? I had him in a midfield pivot because I didn't want to pick Henderson and I had no one else. Like that's how bad it's got. I've got to sit there and go Curtis Jones.
Thank God you ain't our manager. Thank God you ain't our sporting director. Let me tell you.
I just don't know what your dislike for Ruben Amorim is.
Dislike is a strong.
Bro,
a strong word.
My logic has been consistent from the start. You need to look at the club that you're walking into, with all due respect.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Mo Salah, I've got Van Dijk, I've got Trent, I've got Robertson, I've got Fabinho, I've got Thiago, I've got Alisson. Players who have been on podiums, players who have made World 11s, players who have won it all, players who don't have time for your young youth coach crap. Exactly what happened with Nagelsmann at Bayern Munich. Will you command the respect of the dressing room? No. If you want Zinedine Zidane, if you want Luis Enrique, if you want people like that, I'd be like, I disagree, Tom, but I understand where you're coming from. But you can't come up to me and come tell me, Amorim. Bro, Amorim would have worked when Klopp first came in, when he had all that youth and we were a crap team and we were 7th and 8th. Okay, he would have built us up at the time. But now I'm legitimately 4 players away from winning a league title. I don't have time for this experimental shit.
So, look, you can sit there and question Ruben Amorim's, standing within the game. That's fine. But I think that if he was to join the club, all the players would be professional. They'd be professional and let the man have a shot at it.
I'm not
if it goes
saying
wrong, it goes wrong.
Punch him up, Tom. I'm saying, will he command the respect?
Yes, but that is what commanding the respect is. Graham Potter didn't command respect.
Commanding respect, that's cap.
But it is though. It is though because if you're professional,
no, because I can be professional at my job and no one respects me.
That's a completely different kettle of fish.
No, it's not different at all. You can look at it like working in a factory.
So what part of not commanding respect? What am I missing? Do you just think the players aren't going to listen to his instructions?
Amorim, it's perfect for Spurs. A team who has won absolutely nothing. A bunch of youngsters, you go teach them football. You get me? That is what Amorim is good for. Don't bring him to Salah, Van Dijk, and all these guys and tell them, now I'm going to teach you how to defend like Inacio. Life doesn't work this way.
No, but he's not going to sit there and say, defend like Inacio, is he? He's not going to do that.
I respect your Mourinho shout more than I respect your Amorim shout. On God.
But Amorim is a top manager. Amorim is much more realistic. Amorim, honestly, the man deserves so much more. He deserves better than Tottenham for one. If he goes Tottenham, I might break down. I might
okay, fine. Send him to Brentford.
But Tom, I think we don't know if he's a top manager. He's potentially a top manager.
Yeah.
But what you're asking to do, he's a top well, you don't know because he hasn't proved it in a top league. And I think ultimately, see, you are taking a bit of a gamble. You're going from a situation. Well, Klopp hasn't covered himself in glory this season. I think we can all agree. He's been at fault for some of the decision making, and other people. It's a collective. If you win as a club, you lose as a club, and you can't give him all the praise when we win and not apportion a certain amount of blame if we don't.
100%.
But I think everyone also agrees that Klopp is a world class manager, and he's proved it year in year out. And apart from this season, where things haven't gone well, he's been a very good manager for Liverpool. I think you're taking more of a risk getting rid of Klopp at this stage and bringing in Amorim than keeping Klopp on and giving him the opportunity to do the rebuild. If you're looking at purely from
it's always going to be a risk.
Situation,
it's always going to be a risk. I just look at it.
It's a risk. It's a risk either way. It's a risk either way.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, on the balance of probability, I'm saying that my judgment says that
I disagree with that.
is less of a risk.
I don't even think it's a risk either way.
Well,
I
think
think
every decision
but
is a risk.
as you said before on this channel, everything in life is a spectrum. The risk of getting Amorim is the risk of you jumping off a plane and the parachute not opening. Like that, there's a risk. There's a massive risk there. You die. The risk of Jurgen Klopp is you go drive a bike without a helmet. It's different levels. Like one you live by, like something will break. The other one, like you will just be in the shits. Bro, imagine we bring in Amorim and he spent 200 million on crap. Then what?
Are we really? Again, though, look, this is the final thing I'll say, and then we'll get back on to actual Liverpool and not what I believe the future should be. Ruben Amorim, I believe, when you're looking at these managers, when you're looking at the risks, I believe that Ruben Amorim is going to become a top manager, and I believe that if he takes a job elsewhere, because he's not going to have to take that next, he's not going to have to go to like a Brighton or someone, and then someone else. Ruben Amorim has a reputation. Ruben Amorim has a standing within the game already. Ruben Amorim has done it on a European stage for a team that had a really poor European record. He's done it on a league stage. He's won a league title with a team that shouldn't have won a league title when they did. I'm not saying he's a world beater yet, but I'm saying he's a top manager, and he will go somewhere, and we won't get him, and we will regret it because he will be massive. I'm not saying that everything's a risk. Maybe he comes in and, he doesn't command the respect of the dressing room, whatever that means. I believe that we have a group of very professional players.
You already know what it means. Don't say I don't know what that means.
I don't know because
you already know what it means, Tom, man. Working with world-class players is different than working with these youngsters. You know it, Tom. Don't deny it just to win and battle unnecessarily.
But that's not on demanding respect from the players.
Okay,
that's on his
very
ability.
simple question just to clarify this in your head. Is Amorim working with Pedro Goncalves like him working with Thiago Alcantara?
No, because they're different types of players.
No, I'm not saying type of player. I'm saying in terms of personnel. Don't do this. Don't change the question. I'm saying...
Are they managing them the same way? Obviously not.
Thiago Alcantara has won it all already. He's won the Champions League. Mm-hmm. He's been in World 11s. He's won the world. He's done everything there is to do in football. He doesn't have time for Amorim's crap. You get me? Mm-hmm. He doesn't have time for, oh my God, run, youngsters, youth, yay me, yay team. He doesn't have time for that shit. You understand? That's why I'm saying Zidane, Mourinho, Ancelotti, people like that. Okay, I get it. But you cannot come and tell me some random young guy who's going to become something in 5 years.
Once again, Ruben Amorim is not going to come in and do what David Moyes done at United, where he said, he sat Vidic and Ferdinand down and made them watch Phil Jagielka and say, I want you to play like that. Ruben Amorim is a different type of man. He knows what to do. He's not going to manage a player based on their personality. He's going to going to build a system.
You're speaking like you're his wife at this point. Like you just know him. How do you know that? You're just making
because I've watched Sporting.
But based on previous evidence, how many people have made that step up and been successful? How many?
How many people have made that step up from? Right. Are you going to give me time to do my research? Because I can't.
Okay, do your research while G speaks, because he's been quiet. Go on, G. Tell me what. Because I know you want to clap out as well, so you better be giving me solutions. I'm just saying.
The thing is, it's not like we're saying I gotta give you solutions. Well, you name two of them anyway. As an example, let's just say Luis Enrique, just as off the back as example, right? The thing is, I agree with what you're both saying in this conversation. I agree with what you're saying in terms of when we're speaking about like an Amorim, because there probably will be an element of that. I don't think it'll be as bad as like a Graham Potter at Chelsea, because he is coming from a team that has done well in another country, but obviously not in England. But then I also agree with what Tom's saying in terms of he is a good manager at the end of the day. Like I don't think anyone would really argue with that. How good he can be, we have no idea. He's obviously not Klopp's level, so I get that. My thing is that I don't understand why we think giving Klopp more money is just going to fix the situation. Like, we're still going to play the same way. Getting new midfielders doesn't change the way that we play. We're still going to play the same way. The problem of Liverpool is the way that we play. That's never going to change. So we can buy Bellingham. Of course, bro, that's like the main problem of Liverpool. Like, of course it is.
I think the main problem is personnel.
No. But this is what I'm saying is that at first I used to think, yeah, you know what? If we're getting better players, I'm not saying if we don't. Obviously, if we're getting better players, we will play better. Will we go, like, for example, the midfield that you just named with McAllister, Jude, and Lavia, that's a top 4 midfield. That's definitely not winning you anything, because the reality is you got one midfielder who, in fact, all 3 of them, maybe McAllister being the only experience, none of them, bar McAllister, is Premier League experience. Lavia just came yesterday. Jude Bellingham has been playing in the bloody Bundesliga. So it's like, you're not bringing anything with real experience in the Premier League of winning anything at any type of level, bar obviously McAllister winning the World Cup with Argentina and Messi and blah, blah, blah. But that's not a midfield that screams to me, you know what? That midfield is going to go ahead and win the league. Like, if I put it up against, even if I put it up against even a Man City, obviously they're a different level. A Real Madrid, these kind of Bayern Munich, like these kind of midfields I'm looking at, I'm putting that up against them because that's the level that we're supposed to be at. We're bottom of that list. Let's put it that way. We're going to be at the bottom of that list.
I disagree with that again. Because the thing is, as well, Salah came from the Italian league. Alisson came from the Italian league.
No. But again, we're talking about
French league. It's not just Prem experience for me or winning experience, because they have.
But all of those players are Prem experience, though. Like, literally, every player you just named, bar Alisson, Van Dijk, Sadio Mane, Mo Salah. Who else have we signed? Gini Wijnaldum.
Prem experience, where he made 3 bench appearances from Chelsea.
I mean, of being okay, cool. So let's take out Mo Salah and Alisson. You still got Van Dijk. You still got Sadio Mane. You still got Jordan Henderson, who's obviously there. Gini Wijnaldum, Robertson. Right, who else? James Milner obviously coming in. All of these guys were all Premier League experience. Like, they knew of the Premier League. They played in the Premier League enough. Let me not say, obviously, Robertson only 1 season, Salah only the 3 games. Wijnaldum had obviously just joined from Newcastle the season before, so that was a season. But they're all experienced enough. And let's also not act like these guys were like gems that we found. None of them were gems. We all knew who they were. They were all players.
Good players. They weren't unbelievable.
Yeah. That's why I give Klopp the credit, is that he was able to maximize their full potential in terms of bringing these guys. Like, they just needed the right manager to be able to coach. Like, I give Klopp credit for that. Van Dijk, like, all they needed was literally just to go to a better team, and all of them would have improved regardless. Whether they would have been as good as they are, I don't know, but they 100% were all going to improve because they were already on the trajectory to go that way anyway, because of the profile of the player.
So basically what you're saying is the problem is not the personnel, it's the plan A of Klopp.
Yeah, and that's my issue, is that, bro, you said it before, at the end of the day, there's no point.
But his plan A, when it works, it's unbelievable. That's why I'm saying it's a personnel problem.
But it's still got its deficiencies. And the problem that you've still got is that even when, like, I'm not saying that you can never have that plan A. Have the plan A. That's fine. My issue is that when it's not working, Pep Guardiola was not playing 3-2-4-1 last season. Jose Mourinho doesn't keep the same team as he would keep from the season before. Conte, as you mentioned about Chelsea going from a team that was 10th the season before to winning the league the following season, Conte played 3 games with 4 at the back and changed to 3 at the back because he could see that it just wasn't working with whatever was happening. That's why they then went on to win the league. That, like, you're able to then change. I don't mind you having 4-3-3. Keep it, like, if that's your main thing, that's your main thing. What I'm talking about is that he's trying to play this, whatever he's trying to play now, and he doesn't have the players for it. I understand that. No problem. Get the players in. Let's see, obviously, what happens. What happens then when teams like Brighton, who play better football, Brentford, who play better football, Man City, obviously, Man City, Arsenal, obviously, Arsenal, all these other teams who still play better football than us, what happens when all of these teams, like which has happened in the last, probably since the beginning of last season, they all know how to play against us anyway. Alisson has even come out and said this season at the beginning, we've just become predictable. Teams know what to do against us. We need to change something around. That's absolutely fine. But nothing, getting new players isn't going to change the way that we play. All we're going to do is buy Jude Bellingham. Let's say you buy Jude Bellingham, you buy Lavia, you buy McAllister. We're still going to have someone doing the Jordan Henderson role, someone doing the Gini Wijnaldum role, and someone doing the Fabinho role. So why do you think that that is going to then take us to the next level when the reality is we actually need to have a different way of playing?
Because Klopp's plan A is one of the best plan A's in football. My problem with the Klopp situation is his sentimentality. My problem is not his tactics. Like, I know I've seen his tactics at the top level win a Champions League, and I've seen it win a Premier League. So I know for a fact it works. I know for a fact, and when it's working, it works.
But Hussam, you've seen it work twice in the 7 years that you've watched him. You haven't seen it work consistently since he's been here.
That's not true. That's not true.
We won one Champions League and one Premier League. Where is it not true?
I'll tell you why that's not true.
But
in context, his first full season, we were not good enough to win a league or a Champions League. He got top 4, so it worked in the context of that year. The year after that, we got top 4 again. It worked in the context of that year. We won the Champions League.
Especially in the second half after Virgil came in.
Exactly. Last season as well. Once again,
I still believe
second half of the season it was a personnel problem.
Lose a single game.
Yeah.
And so last season couldn't have been a personnel problem. How could last season have been a personnel problem?
Because we just needed depth last season. If we
that doesn't even make sense, because we applaud the depth for getting us to all of these games and the final. How can it now be a case of depth? There was a problem with the way that we were playing. Hence the reason why we've got a problem today with the same players that we had from last season. We've not even changed the team that we've had
this year. Were there last year?
Wasn't even that bad. The first
last season we just winning through quality. We were playing shit. Last season. It was just pure quality that were getting us through games.
I disagree with that completely. I don't think we were playing shit.
Oh, bro, like, come on, man. Like, we can't let the fact that we got to that we were on a quad let us cloud our job.
The second half of the season, we lost no games.
Forget about the not losing games. I'm not talking about, like I said, we were winning games for pure individual quality. It wasn't that Liverpool were playing this is amazing football. That was never happening, bro. You saw the finals. The finals are probably the worst games I've ever seen in a Liverpool shirt. They were shit and ugly games to watch. And we should have lost
There are plenty of very good games in that time as well.
No. I'm not dismissing that we had good games in those times. We did not go through the whole of the second half of the season, obviously just playing crap football. What I'm saying is, as a season as a whole, I think what's happened now is that you've looked at it. We played all of these games. We've got to obviously the 3 finals, obviously. So now everyone's thinking, yeah, we must have been amazing. Did anyone actually watch these games and how crap we were actually in some of these games where we probably should have lost, but due to our individual quality, which at that time was giving us the out, because we had Luis Diaz come in obviously after January. We had Mo Salah having Ballon d'Or form prior to him going to AFCON. We had Mane move position. Like, these individual quality play, bro, that was doing the thing. So then now we move on to this season where the quality in other teams has now just gotten a lot better. The systems that these teams are playing have now gotten a lot better. The way they're being coached is a lot better. We're still doing the same. We haven't changed anything from last season. We're doing the exact same thing that we did last season. Are we going to now
my rebuttal was a very simple one. Had we had actual quality in depth, the likes of Fabinho and Thiago wouldn't have had to play every single game on God's green earth that we had in the second half of the last season, and they would have had more rest. Fabinho and Thiago, let's not change the facts now. Fabinho and Thiago last season were not crap. They were both very good midfielders. Yeah, exactly. Our problem was always with the third one. The third one, I thought Keita probably played his best football probably for Liverpool in that period of like 2-3 months. He did okay for us. I'm not saying he was amazing or anything. Now, once again, we go back to what we kept saying. Fabinho, Thiago, all these guys have been playing every single game, FA Cup semi-final, then this game, then that game. My thing is, we cannot take things out of context. I just go back to the point that I made earlier on. When you look at Klopp's tenure, we cannot say it worked only twice, because that's disingenuous. His first full season, we couldn't have won anything. It worked because it got us to our objective. Second season, we got our objective. Third season, objective. Fourth season, objective. Last season, we didn't get our objective, but it worked. The reason why we didn't win, I've given you the context to it. Now, here's my ultimate point. When it comes to Klopp's plan A, just like Pep Guardiola's plan A, just like Ancelotti's plan A, just like Amorim's plan A, so Tom can be happy. Just like everyone's plan A, every plan A has deficiencies. Pep Guardiola. Okay, Pep Guardiola, right? Unbelievable, best manager in the world, all of that. I bet everything, anything you want. Next week, Bayern Munich are going to park the shit out of the bus, probably hit them on the counter-attack, win 1-0. Are we going to come up here and say, the problem with Pep Guardiola is he doesn't change his plan A. He should have lumped the ball forward to Haaland. No, they try to make plan A better. So my thing is, I've already seen it work at the top level.
But Hussam, you're talking... Go on.
Yeah, here's my thing. regarding the whole Klopp situation. The part where I would agree with you more is if you say, I don't trust Klopp's talent ID with money, that is where I'd say 100% I agree with you. That's why I'm on my knees for a sporting director. Like that is what we need now. Then I'd agree with you. But for me,
I wouldn't even.
plan
I
A
wouldn't
works.
even.
We just need personnel.
No, again, I'm not in the talent ID thing. I agree 100%. But even that, I'm just like, again, it doesn't really bother me to like get whatever players that you think they're players that you think are going to do well for the team. Whatever, they make it work. I don't really care after that kind of point. My issue will still always be. So if next, like you talked about Pep Guardiola, regardless, that's next. We're talking about one game. Like last season, he was not playing a 3-2-4-1 formation because he had different personnel. So he was able to play to that team's strength. So he was able to change it. This season, he's now changed it. Why? Because he's then got in Haaland and he's just got different personnel within the squad, like players he's brought in, etc., players doing different roles. My issue is this. You can have your plan A. That is fine. I've got no beef with you having that plan A. The problem is when it is not working, that you continue to just keep making plan A better. And when it isn't better, or when it's not working, or whenever you can just see it's just a shambles. At the end of the day, with a style that we have, which is quite unique in what we do, the deficiencies, the risk reward that we have, yes, you can say we won the Champions League in 2019. Is it 19? And then 2019, and then we won the Premier League the following season. So for those 2 seasons, you saw it and you were like, when this tactic works, absolutely.
Years before that, it worked as well. I'm sorry, it worked.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, cool. If you want to say for those objectives, but I mean, I'm talking about the tactic working at an elite level. I'm not talking about the tactic working because what actually was different between the team that finished 4th and the team that finished won the Champions League the following season. There was zero difference. We had the exact same players, bar Alisson. Actually, I think Alisson was the only difference. I think the season before.
But
that was the. It's not like we had a.
Saying that only
once again, you just undone your point because the difference was personnel.
And if you don't win
in one player, so again, we're still doing this. We were still doing the same things, and we just moved on. Again, players have gotten better throughout that time. And I'm saying at the elite level, it has worked for 2 seasons. That's the point I'm trying to make. At the elite level, not the finishing 4th, because that's not the level that we are obviously trying to obtain and trying to get to. At the elite level where we were actually battling with Manchester City, it worked for 2 seasons. Absolutely great, absolutely fantastic. The issue now comes is, okay, when it's not working, what else can you do? What else can you change around? Can you potentially play in a different way, in a potentially different style of football? When you don't have certain players, the problem now is that you spoke about depth. That doesn't even make sense because the reality of the situation is, regardless of who you have in your team, you should still be able to play more or less, obviously without the individual quality of the player. Of course, we don't have another Thiago. There's not another Kevin De Bruyne. There's not another Bernardo Silva. Why is it the team doesn't actually change the way it plays when different players come in? But for Liverpool, you're always noticing that we have to almost completely change the way that we actually play because we can't seem to actually play any better or even just play the same when we have different players in. We have the depth. We've got the players there. The players are there. There are players there, just not deemed in our eyes good enough. But then I'm thinking, so then maybe we change the way that we play to then adapt to what we actually have. At times when you can't play Thiago, as you mentioned, you can't play. When you can't play Fabinho, why is it when Trent plays, there's only seemingly one way that we can play? Why is there not another right back who can play in a similar fashion to Trent Alexander-Arnold? And if you can't do that, why are we not then playing differently? Like all these little kind of things, I'm like, okay, cool. So we're going to give Klopp more money to get Bellingham doing the Henderson role. Okay, that's cool. So we're going to give Klopp more money to get him a player that's going to do the Fabinho role. And we are hoping that this player can do these roles at that peak level. So we're hoping that the 19-year-old Bellingham is going to be able to do that Jordan Henderson role. We're hoping that.
No, I don't think so. No. This way.
What role is he coming to do, Hassan? We play 4-3-3. There's only 2 positions he's going to play: left central midfield or right central midfield. So what?
You don't buy a Bugatti to go grocery shopping.
What?
Jurgen
But
Klopp
Klopp does that though.
literally bought
But Klopp
Thiago
does
and
that.
played
That's
him
the
as a
whole
box to
point.
box.
No,
What
no,
are we
no, 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 no,
doing?
no.
Yes,
We are not gonna. We are not
you
gonna
wouldn't.
So
sign.
Sam, what do you
wouldn't.
think is going to happen if we buy Jude Bellingham? What do you think is going to happen?
Thanks for the help, by the way. Thanks for the help.
No, I mean, no. G
You're just
G was
there
quiet.
on
So,
fucking Tinder while I'm fighting these people. Can you leave the dating apps alone, brother? Let me answer. Look, let me just run through this super chats. Let's just take a 5-second break because I'm fighting on my own. I just want Trax to refresh it. Wake up.
okay,
Alex. Drink some
okay.
water.
I'm ready.
So Hype says, I think we need a right back because Trent Alexander-Arnold needs someone to compete with to find some sort of form. Our defense will continue to be exposed. I keep the same energy. So Hype, first of all, thank you for the super chat. Second of all, I keep the same energy for all our world-class players, all our good players. Let's surround the actual good players with other good players. If they're still crap, then I'm going to speak on moving them on, selling them, blah, blah, blah. Do we need a right back cover? We do. Calvin Ramsey is made from Weetabix. I agree with you completely. Big up to you. So Hype, to replace Klopp, I would go Ruben or Nagelsmann. Mo, so you just went from the Portuguese Brendan Rodgers to the German Brendan Rodgers. Well done. See, this is what I'm afraid of. This right here is genuinely one of the things I'm afraid of. The Villas Boas type shit. Like, I'm just afraid of that shit. Mo says we have to sign Spolotsai while we still can in a midfield with Ugarte and Jude. Spolotsai, amazing pressing numbers, great set piece taker in Europe, elite ball striking, KDB regen. I disagree in terms of KDB regen. I think he does have quality. And look, because the bar is on the floor right now, and we have to watch number 14 do hoofball, anything would get us excited. So for me, McAllister, Lavia, and Jude excites me. If it's Lavia, Spolotsai, Jude, I'm excited. Whatever it is, I'm just happy with us upgrading, but not just an upgrade. Like, I don't want just Mount, who's Henderson Young version. I don't want that shit. I want actual better players. And this is why I was disagreeing with G and Tom earlier, which I'll explain now in a second. He's not going to let Jude play the Henderson role. Big Up Selection says, Klopp needs every single thing to align. I told Sam we've been bad since last January. We just got by due to quality, Diaz being free. But once again, the reason why that was cap is Salah dropped his levels post-AFCON. Mane, for me, I didn't think he had an overall that great of a season anyway. And many of the players actually fell off due to the fatigue of the season towards the end. Because we just kept playing, and we got tired. This is where, for example, the likes of Minamino was very useful. Because now I could bench a guy, bring in Minamino, and I'm good. I don't feel it. But the problem is, you had to play these guys every single game they had to play. That is where the problem lies. So I stick by what I said. Had we had proper depth last season, we possibly could have won at least one of the other two big boys.
I think our level dropped at the end of last season, probably in or around the second leg of the Champions League. It was those last 7 or 8 games where things kind of, we were struggling.
It was the last 11 games of the season.
We were just tired, though.
It was the last 11 games of the season where you sort of...
And even
we were just tired,
in those last games, we did have good performances. Like that second leg of the Champions League semi-final, obviously we were 2-0 down in the first half, but then we came back and obviously won and went through. We went FA Cup semi-final. We obviously beat City. Now, there were, even within that period, there were good performances. There were good.
That was a good game.
So it's, but we did struggle a little bit towards the end. I agree, but overall,
that was tiredness, though.
That was tired. Which is
whatever. Really?
Bro, you give Thiago, Fabinho, Keita a game off here, a game off there, shit changes. I'm telling you.
Sam, let me just ask you this, because you sit there and say that the depth wasn't there last year, and that if he had the depth, then we wouldn't be in the situation. What's not to say Jurgen Klopp has the depth in the position, but still just refuses to use it, like he done all of last season. Like he done all of last season with fucking Kostas Tsimikas. He refused to play Kostas Tsimikas in half the games he should have played in. So Robertson was dead come the end of the season. That Virgil van Dijk played near on every single game that season. Near on every single game. He got 3 or 4 games off, I think. 3 or 4 games off after coming off an ACL. Surely he could have got, a couple more games here or there. The midfield, I can somewhat understand. He didn't trust Ox. He clearly had enough of Ox. Curtis Jones isn't good enough. Harvey Elliott was clearly what he wanted, but then he got injured.
Curtis Jones isn't good enough.
Anyway, But then my point still my point still stands. Jurgen Klopp, when he's had depth, hasn't used it. He hasn't used it to its fullest.
Tom, last season we were praising Klopp about how well he was rotating the squad. Let's not forget about that.
Why do we? I'm sorry, but I was never praising him for rotating squads in an FA Cup. Bro, I expect you to change the squad in an FA Cup shitty game. Like, I don't care about Salah or like he wasn't rotating squads in league.
I categorically remember pretty much everyone coming out and saying how well we were using the depth of the squad and how we were rotating.
But Rax, can you now see? Why I keep mentioning? I think people are. I just think that last season was such a blur to people that you didn't even really watch what was actually going on. Because why would you praise someone who was doing exactly what you kind of expected him to do? It's the FA Cup. I don't even expect you to play any. And what happened in the League Cup, for example, League Cup against Arsenal, I can't remember if it was quarterfinals or the semi-finals. Ended up playing the big boys anyway. So he wasn't using no depth. He ended up just playing the big boys in those games regardless.
He played 8 Gordon away at the Emirates.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but Bar Gordon and stuff. Yeah, because I remember I went to that game. But
it
was a good game. But like the reality was that like last season, as Tom just said, like he wasn't rotating where you're like, right, you know what? He's got in Simicast for 10 league games or whoever he would have put at right back or whoever in central midfield. At the end of the day, we're now getting onto him for playing these players too much because he wasn't rotating. Like he didn't want to rotate Thiago. He wanted to keep playing him. He didn't want to rotate Fabinho. He wanted to keep
Fabinho got injured. Fabinho got injured because he didn't rotate him out for that Villa game. The praise I will give him, Rax, because you're right. I did praise him. I praised the substitutions. I thought his in-game management last year was good. I thought he was making the right subs at the right times. This year, that's gone out the window. But the substitutions,
substitutions is part of rotating the squad. It's not.
Yeah,
you don't rotate the squad just by your starting 11. It's when you bring players on, when you take players off, because you're conserving them for future games.
But that I wasn't sitting there praising the subs. Oh, great job taking Salah off there, so we could say. I was going, great job bringing Origi on. He had a really good impact on the game. I was never sitting there praising him for taking someone off to say like that's standard. I should be praising the man for doing his job.
At the end of the sorry, I'm going.
It's just like you can praise his substitutions, and I did, but his rotation was wrong last year because what made it worse was, and it's happened this year, he gives you glimpses of what he can do with it. He lures you in. He gives you 1 or 2 games where you're like, that's it, he's nailed it, and then doesn't do it again. This year, and I can even go on to this game. Let's get back to this game that we're doing a therapy on. This game, he actually got his tactics spot on for the first 20. He matched their box. He went man for man with their midfield and boxed it. That was when Henderson and Fabinho were doing their good running because they were just told, follow them. Gakpo and Salah, when Salah was in the middle, were marking Stones and Rodri whenever they had the ball, so they couldn't get the pass. Great. Look at that. And then we conceded. And he went, shit. Straight back to 4-3-3.
Shout out Danny up the Reds.
Elliot sent
that brilliant comment.
It's just stupid, man. And even last year,
and speaking of shout-outs, now we're going to put Tom full screen, and he's going to read the super chat, and he's going to answer it. Go on, Tom. I dare you deny this.
Let's cut the crap. You're not getting players like Bellingham or McAllister on board over City by sacking Klopp for Amorim. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Is that it? Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
But that's not a significant disadvantage or anything.
No. In the same breath, yes and no. Like
you are so full of crap.
No, because Sam, in the same breath, I wouldn't want to play. I wouldn't want to play it. I wouldn't want to play who just wants to play for the manager. What do we do if we bring in Jude Bellingham? What do we do if we bring in Jude Bellingham, Hassan, and then Klopp goes in 6 months, 12 months?
I still wouldn't hire fucking Amorim, Tom. You get it?
So then your point
is, don't come in and say, I only going to play for this manager, and if you get sacked, I'm off. See you later. That's not how it works in reality. The idea is you have a world-class manager, and that world-class manager attracts a potentially world-class player. If that world-class manager then goes, you've still got a potentially world-class player.
What world-class player has Klopp ever attracted?
It attracted a whole lot.
I mean, Thiago.
Okay, sorry. What world-class player have Liverpool signed under Jurgen Klopp?
No, but that's
Thiago.
different. See, now you're
That
speaking
hasn't
a
really
different
been, that hasn't
language,
been our
brother.
strategy. We've never really been going off after world class players, have we?
But it's what I'm saying is that in my mind, I always think there's this narrative that, yeah, Jurgen Klopp, because he is a very, very good manager. I'm not trying to say he isn't, but there seems to be this narrative that we seem to think that the top dogs in this world, if Liverpool had the funds, they're looking at Klopp thinking, yeah, I would love to play under you. I don't think like they look at Klopp like that. I don't think he's on that Guardiola, Ancelotti, Zidane
How
type
did
of stuff.
we attract interest from Mr. France himself?
Who?
You already know who. Who's Mr. France?
No. Say the name so I know who you're talking about.
Kylian.
Yeah, bro. If you think that Kylian Mbappe looked at Klopp and said, "Yeah, I would love to play here," then I don't know, bro. I don't know.
It's literally well documented that Kylian
That
Mbappe
he said, "Yeah, I would love to play under."
Mbappe wanted to go to either Madrid or Liverpool. We cannot deny facts now.
Bro, like I said,
the reason he didn't come is different to you.
No. Obviously, I know the reason why he wouldn't have come, but if we believe that, yeah, Mbappe really looked at the thing and said, "You know what? Between Madrid and Liverpool, the type of player that I am, I'm gonna choose Liverpool over Madrid." I don't know, bro. That wouldn't even make sense for him.
Well, you cannot change your question. You said name a world-class player that we attracted, and I just named him.
Okay, cool. So we've got one in the 7 years he's been there. You can pick up one world-class player.
I could think of many.
Bro, like I said, it's not one. We don't go after them. Fair enough. You could potentially say that, but we don't attract. Liverpool have never really attracted as a club in maybe the last 20 years that I can think of. I don't look at Liverpool and think world-class players are looking at Liverpool thinking they're going to join. Even under Jurgen Klopp, I still don't think that world-class players are looking at Liverpool and wanting to join. If you ran through all the world 11 since Jurgen Klopp has been here, I'm pretty sure you probably couldn't find one player in their bar. We're going to go with Kylian Mbappe, who would have looked at Liverpool and said, yeah, I'm coming to join Liverpool, or I would want to play under Jurgen Klopp. Not because he's a dead manager, because he is a top manager. So when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, we're talking about world-class players. We don't go for them anyway. You just said McAllister and Bellingham, two non-world-class players anyway.
No. Now once again, now you're digressing from the original point. You need to understand, I am not disagreeing with the idea that you're saying we don't go for world-class players, but that doesn't mean we don't attract them.
We don't attract them though. We actually don't attract them.
Once again.
But look,
3 years ago,
look at City, for example.
Centre backs on earth were Van Dijk and Koulibaly. You're saying if we called Napoli and said we want Koulibaly, he's going to go like, no, I don't want to play for Klopp?
You thought he was one of the best centre backs in the world. All right, then again, if that's what you think, then that's what you think. I never ever thought.
Are we going to deny the fact that Kalidou Koulibaly was world class for a period?
I never ever thought he was a world class player. Again, but that's just okay. Cool. We'll use him as well, just for the sake of argument. We'll use him as well.
There's two different points of going into.
Hold on, I don't get your point.
World-class players? No. We sign players who are very good and turn them into that level. But you saying we don't attract them is a totally different argument.
Because we do not attract them, bro.
No, we do not sign them, but we do.
No. I know we're not going to sign them, but we don't even attract them. That is we don't actually even attract these players.
So that is cap.
You
think you've been able to name Kylian Mbappe and supposedly Koulibaly in this whole time. So
I am not saying these are actual examples. You're missing my point.
But G,
3 years ago,
are you saying like, okay, Rafael Varane when he was at Real Madrid?
3 years ago, we called Napoli.
Are you saying that
like, guys,
Man United with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer
would have
You're talking over each other. The team's falling apart. They're talking over each other.
yeah, just like you, Tom. So it's a very simple question, G. 2 years ago, we call Napoli. We say we want Koulibaly. You're saying he doesn't want to come? Or we don't sign world-class players. Those are two different things.
No. Let's say we had the funds for it. I probably think he might come.
There you go. Okay.
Again, we've named two in the whole time that we've been here. So those are two players that we've been able to attract. In your question, Rax, he's going to choose Manchester United, the football club. He's not coming to Liverpool, or not a club that is renowned for winning. He's going to Manchester United due to heritage. That is the only reason. He's not going there to play under Ole. We don't care about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's going there to play for Manchester United.
We have an equally large heritage, and we have a world-class manager.
We're not, Rax, in the last 30, in recent history, we're not renowned for winning.
One of the top 2 or 3 clubs in the world at that point, where United were definitely not.
Yeah, but you've got to consider
Right.
circumstances.
In recent history, Liverpool are not renowned for winning. He's going to Manchester United because in recent history, they are renowned for winning. Again, we all know Manchester United. In recent history, Liverpool have not been a winning. They've been a cup team. They're a team who win a lot of cup trophies. Manchester United are known as a team who win everything in recent history. Yes, in the last, since Ferguson left, whenever that was, they haven't won the Premier League, but they're still a lot bigger than Liverpool are, regardless of that fact. That's just the obvious fact that we've all seen it. Bar this last year that someone's probably going to mention in the comments that we've created more revenue than Manchester United.
If you're a 28-year-old world-class defender, all that matters is what you can win in the next 3 or 4 years.
No, but Rax, you've got to consider the
right?
idea.
You don't really care if Man United are going to return to winning ways in 7 or 8 years.
You're talking about Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs, like literally in the world.
Liverpool are one of the biggest clubs in the world. And we're playing at the top level
in the space of in the last year or two. Then you could probably say that
United weren't even getting into the Champions League at that point.
And look, exactly. But look who they were signing. Look at the players that they were able to get without Champions League football.
But the point
your
is,
Zlatan, your Pogba's, your Radamel Falcao, your Di Maria, all of these world-class players.
Zlatan wouldn't have worked at Liverpool.
No. But forget the player profile of player. I'm just talking about in terms of if they would have fit into the squad. I don't want Zlatan anyway. What I'm saying is they are so big, they still are actually. They were so big, it didn't matter if they were playing Europa League, if they were playing Champions League, because all of these players are still coming to Manchester United. It's never that's never even going to change anyway, unless they go another 20 years without winning like Liverpool, without winning a Premier League. So we weren't even in that market, and we never have been in that market where we're so big in terms of recent history, just recent. Yes, before I agree with you, but in recent history, they are so big, it doesn't matter. Players are going to look at that. Someone like Varane, who's coming from Real Madrid, I can't see him making a step from Real Madrid to Liverpool. I can see him going from Real Madrid to Manchester United. Casemiro, I can see him going from Real Madrid to Manchester United.
Once again. Why are we capping?
Bro,
Sam, have you
So you're
considered the
So you're
possibility?
telling me at the time Varane moved to Man United, had Liverpool called, they wouldn't have come?
God. Right,
100%. He's not going to come to Liverpool, bro. Why would he come to Liverpool? That doesn't even make any sense. Come on, bro. I understand that you want to make out that, yes, Liverpool are this big team, and I'm not saying that we're not. We are a big club, 100%. But you're talking about Liverpool are a big club in, how old am I? 31. Liverpool a big club 40 years ago. That's when Liverpool were considered to be an elite big club. Since then, we're a cup team. We have one title in 30 years, bro. If that doesn't scream cup team to you, I don't even.
You are very good at changing your point. You are very good at changing your point. One title in 30 years got nothing to do with Jurgen Klopp. That has absolutely.
But it's literally got everything to do with Jurgen Klopp because he's the one who won the one title.
He's the one in the third.
Yeah, he's the one. He's got the one title. Okay, one title in 7 years. Then, if we want to then break it down.
Of which only 3 we could have won the league. He won one.
Again, I'm not changing it. He's been here for 7 years. In the 7 years, he's got one title. I don't care about what you were doing prior to this, that, and the third.
When he walked in.
Say that again.
Why are you acting like this was your energy in 2015 when he walked in? Because this wasn't your energy,
bro. So we're talking about Liverpool in 2023. When Liverpool walked in, we were absolutely shit. Coming off a season with Brendan Rodgers where we almost won the league. And then the following season,
that was not coming off that season.
Hold on, I haven't even finished. Coming off the season where we won the Premier League, and then the following season, we were sitting in, I think, 8th by the time that Jurgen Klopp obviously come into the football club. Where we were at that stage is not where we are today. So the way I'm judging Jurgen Klopp today is not the Jurgen Klopp I was judging back then. Huh?
And who changed the way you judge things?
What do you mean, who changed? Bro, is Jurgen Klopp? He's the bloody manager. Of course he changed the way I judge things. Of course I'm judging him. I am judging him as I should be. But you're judging him through, it sounds like you're judging him through the other years that we were doing. I'm judging him now.
I'm just calling out what you're saying because it's complete cap. You're saying if you're saying it's cap because we seem to attract the 2 players that you mentioned
who were actually the only ones. But yet we've got other examples of other world-class players who would have gone to other clubs.
To me, thinking, how can I respond? He's not listening to
Bro,
understand.
okay, go on.
I am not saying we attracted Koulibaly to begin with. I am not making up a transfer rumor. I am saying, in a hypothetical world, had we called Koulibaly 3 years ago and said, we want to sign you, he would have come. That is my point. But the problem is at Liverpool, as an institution, is we don't sign world-class players. There's a difference between not signing world-class players and attracting them. Those are two totally different arguments. Because, one second. Do Spurs attract world-class players? No, they don't. Simple as that. Are they willing to sign? They're probably more willing to sign world-class players than we do. For us, it's different. For us, we attract them. If we called Varane before he moved to United, he would have chose us. If we any of these world-class players that made them moves, they would have preferred us over any other teams because
I'm sure they would have. I'm sure
we were winning at the time, but we just don't make the move. We don't sign world-class players to begin with, which is the problem.
We don't try and sign them. Hussam, let's put yourself in the situation of a Koulibaly or a Raphael Varane in the summers or the times they were available. Kalidou Koulibaly, right before, I think he was available 1920, weren't he? So just after he won the Champions League, that was the summer where Napoli was shopping him around because they were having a bit of a financial problem. What would Kalidou Koulibaly choose to be as a world-class player? The starting centre-back and Serie A's unanimous best defender, or Virgil van Dijk's partner?
Tom, because what do you want to do as a player? Do you want to be challenging at the elite level of European football, or do you want to be fourth in Serie A?
Let me finish. Yes, if he was focused on what he could win as a player, maybe he would have chosen us. But what is not to say, yes, hindsight, he didn't win anything, but he was the starting centre-back and the captain for Napoli, who were challenging for Serie A year in, year out.
No, he's the same guy who just moved to Chelsea's Thomas Tuchel, who won fuck all.
Oh my god, yeah, 3 years.
They bottled Serie A under what's his face?
Thiago Silva moved to Chelsea.
On a free transfer.
It doesn't matter. We're talking about the player. We're not talking about the money. You keep changing the ideas. This is the problem with you and G. Your argument is weak. That's why you have to keep changing it. It's as simple as that. Big up to Khusay, who says by the
But remember, you're basing all your arguments on hypotheticals and saying cap. So how can our arguments be weak now when you've based all your actual debate on hypothetical? I'm giving you evidence and facts, and you said hypothetically. I gave you the facts. I gave you the only one that you actually had that was actually true was Kylian Mbappe. We've mentioned no other player in the history since Jurgen Klopp has been here, but you named one player.
No, but
and I've given you multiple examples of Manchester United being a lot worse off than Liverpool and being able to attract these world-class players. They haven't signed every world-class player, but they've attracted some world-class players who were world-class at that time in period.
That's part of our recruitment strategy.
The reason why I have to be hypothetical is because you're hypothetical.
And I agree with that. Like,
you're hypothetical to begin with, so I have to be hypothetical. What else can I say? We don't sign world-class players. So how are we having an argument about do we attract something that we do not sign? That's by definition a circular argument. It just makes no sense. Even if I had the funds, even if I gave Klopp the money, even if FSG had the money, do we sign world-class players to begin with? No. So why are we arguing if we attract something we do not sign to begin with? So the problem is not that we don't attract world-class players. The problem is we don't sign world-class players.
Because we don't attract them, Sam. That is the reason why we do not sign them. Whether we had the funds or not, we do not sign them because we don't attract them.
Hold on, let's
because you don't attract them, bro. That's the only reason why you wouldn't sign them.
Let's buy into Hassam's
Tottenham don't sign world-class players because they don't attract them. Are you going to tell me now it's because of funds?
No, there's multiple different reasons. The reason why we don't sign world-class players
because we don't attract them. Tottenham don't attract them, as the example that you use.
No, funds is part of it, and recruitment strategy.
No, funds is definitely part of it, but we don't even attract them anyway to be a part of the conversation.
That's also hypothetical. You're using a hypothetical just the same as we are.
World-class
I'm not
players
using
are
any
actually not
hypothetical.
money.
I'm literally telling you. Have you heard of anybody, like any world-class player other than Mbappe that he mentioned, I'll agree. Yep, that was the only one. We had, and by the way, Mbappe that we all knew, well, everyone knew we didn't have the money to buy a Kylian Mbappe, but somehow we were attracted. Somehow we seemed to pique his interest. So clearly there was a player there. There was clearly one player in
Can I
this
just
whole space of
respond to
time
you?
that
Can
was
I
able to go.
respond? Listen, I get what you're saying, but you are reaching a different conclusion. That's the problem with your argument. And I've already debunked it, but you
But
want
how
to
can you
say,
debunk something that you don't know? That doesn't
okay,
make any
hear me out.
sense.
You're just
Go
listening
on.
to respond. You're not listening to understand my point.
Because you haven't said
The
anything
problem,
factually. It's all been
but I am
hypothetical. I
speaking
need to hear the
factually.
facts. I need to hear facts.
I am speaking factually. You're speaking hypothetically because by definition, it's a circular argument. If I don't sign something, why am I asking if I attract it? Rax doesn't like blondes. I'm not going to ask
I do
him,
like blondes.
do blonde? It's just an example, Rax. Then I cannot ask him, do blondes attract you?
How
don't
dare
like
you?
them anyway.
But if Rax is ugly, he's not going to attract them anyway. So regardless of that, it's then a circular
Hey,
argument
my
regardless.
personality, man.
By the way, I'm not calling you ugly, Rax. I'm just saying in a hypothetical.
It's all about
Can
the
I
personality, man.
finish? Let me finish.
Go on,
In your mind, all's happening is how can I respond to this guy? Forget
bro,
him.
it's not about
Just
how
try
to respond. It's just
respond to me.
it's
I'm
being
just
able to sense an argument that's going downhill and
okay.
being
So
able to cut you before you finish. So go on.
I listen to understand. That's why I'm
Go
responding
on.
to your points. My thing is as follows. The
Justice
basis
for
of your
blondes.
argument is we don't attract world-class players. The reason why I disagree is we don't sign world-class players. Not we don't attract world-class players. Those are two different things. Club policy and funds did not allow us to sign world-class players. Now you'll tell me, what do you mean, Hussam? I'll tell you what I mean. FSG run on the Moneyball system. By definition, 99% of the world-class players are not Moneyball. You cannot sign a world-class player and expect to sell him on 5-6 years later for more money. The players that we sign are in the caliber of the very good player who we are able to sell 5 years later. That has nothing to do with you attracting them or not. If you have attracted the biggest prospect in the world, obviously you could have signed those world-class players. But here's the problem. Let's assume, once again, this is a hypothetical because your question is hypothetical to begin with. If I want to sign Rafael Varane, what if at that time that goes against club policy? Michael Edwards went like, we don't sign 28, 29-year-old center backs. We sign 23, 24, 25-year-old center backs. So this whole argument is cyclical because the main issue in this is we don't sign world-class players, which we need to do. We need to sign world-class players. It's not that we don't attract them. We don't sign them because it's against club policy. It's against ownership policy. And as well, I do believe that Klopp doesn't like that either. He wants like the very good players. But no one is watching Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Man United going like, I'd rather play for them just because it's Man United, a winning institution 10 years ago. Ferguson's no longer there. So the problem is the club policy. So that's what I'm saying. Let me just run through these super stats because they've sent them like 5 hours ago. Jose says, by the second half of the season, it's obviously we need refreshing. We won games where we didn't perform. I was surprised. We had a chance winning a quad. I agree with you. I thought our depth from 2 summers ago, I was doing videos with Rax talking about midfielders and shit. I just had it up to here with Henderson. Zach says, well, I'm sorry to say, but we have been moving in silence, doing the work on getting Lavia before Liverpool even thought about him. So he's coming to us. Liverpool's best signings have all been
silence.
steal.
He was linked. You were linked to him at the start of the season. I wouldn't say silence.
Ain't no silence with Chelsea, by the way. Second of all, our best signing is like the Diaz. We steal your girl. That's what we like to do. We don't get our own girl. We steal your girl instead. So watch, inshallah, we steal your girl this summer. Not your actual girl, Chelsea's girl. Big up to Mo, who says, you can't be cussing Amorim, but at the same time begging for players he developed, Ugarte, Inacio, Goncalves, Matthew Nunez last year. Okay, I absolutely can. Because those players will make a step up under a better manager right now, who's Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is clearly the better manager. Ruben Amorim could easily become another Andre Villas-Boas. We don't know that. He could become another Brendan Rodgers. He could become another Graham Potter. He could be blinded by the lights at Liverpool Football Club. We don't know that shit. Okay, but we're out here. We're out here. You know what the problem is? This is our problem is as a football fan base. Thomas, let you respond, but I'm in the middle of a sentence. How are you accusing me of interrupting? I'm in the middle of the sentence.
You're going straight away to the Ruben Amorim's going to be shit. But that's literally one side of a massive spectrum.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm about to get to, but you interrupt me towards him. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't think he commands the respect of the dressing room. I don't think he does any of that stuff. which is why we have seen, and Tom Little has had this opportunity to go and check and research how many managers actually made that step up and eventually got to the promised land. The percentage is very small. If you are elite,
Well, I need
you
to know.
don't get
I've got my shortlist. I just need to know what you're saying is the requirements to qualify. Would you say going from a small club to a big club and having success, is that your
Yes.
requirement?
Yes.
Okay. And we're doing straight away. So from small club to big club, not small club to medium to big. We're going straight from small to big.
The one example I can think of is Wenger. Let me just
Wenger.
run to, because it's just 2 super chats left, and then we'll get to your list. Milner, player manager, Hussam Raibina stocks. One day, Messi FC. One day, I'm just gonna slap the crap out of you. I'm telling you right now. Big up to Bank, who says, "Why do Liverpool fans find it so hard to accept that United's bigger?" You're not. It's like being bothered that night follows a day. Just accept it and move on. There is nothing for me to accept. You are not bigger. I am bigger. I know that for a fact. You know, you can have a brother that is literally piss in your bathroom. What is bigger about that? You're not even bigger than my local hospital, because we got, you know, cleaner bathrooms than Old Trafford. And finally, Kareem just sends in an empty super chat. Big up to you, Kareem. Thanks so much for the super chat, Akhi. Well, that was a fucking mind fuck and a half to argue. But Tom Little, who's the actually before Tom Little, housekeeping. 270 people somehow are still watching the show. Make sure you slap the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Big up to Kareem, Bank, Ryan, Toby, Selection, Amin, Philippe, Qusay, Messi, Sohaib, Mo, Satadisha, and Zach for the super chats. Big up to everyone who always shows us love and support. Minimum 150 likes, guys. Slap the like button, subscribe. Thomas Little, hand us your list.
So I actually didn't include Wenger on mine because I thought he went to Monaco. He was at Monaco first, so I didn't include Wenger.
What's this list?
Managers that have made the step up from small club to big club in one go and been successful.
Okay.
And Antonio Conte was at Siena, then went to Juventus and won back-to-back leagues. That's successful. Obviously, Jose Mourinho was at Porto, went to Chelsea.
I know, I'm not giving you that, sorry.
You're not giving me Jose Mourinho?
No, because he won the Champions League at Porto.
But Porto was still a small club.
But he won the Champions League. If Amorim wins the Champions League at Lisbon, I wouldn't be saying this.
Okay, so the requirements have changed now. Great. Okay, the requirements have changed. Great. Pochettino.
No, but we have to be real. It's different. If you win the Champions League, it's different.
Pochettino went from Espanyol to Southampton. And then from Southampton, which wasn't great. Like, not a big club. He had success there, but he wasn't a big club. To Tottenham, where he revitalised that team and made them actually good. My weakest one, I'd say. My weakest one. But I'd put Poch in there. Arteta literally was a fucking assistant manager and has now, went on to have success.
Fuck me.
And he's about to match our fucking Premier League legacy.
Out of context, it's so beautiful. Out of context, it's so beautiful.
He's about to match his legacy on the
So let's listen to his 4 examples, right? Arsene Wenger, I actually gave him. Jose Mourinho won the Champions League with Porto before coming. Had Amorim won the Champions League, I definitely wouldn't be saying this shit. I definitely wouldn't be saying this had he won the Champions League, but he hasn't won it. So that's Mourinho down the drain. His other example is Mauricio Pochettino, who won fuck all with Tottenham anyway. So now we're left with Tom. Who is your last one, Tom? The one guy
I've got more than one. I've got Luis Enrique.
What was his step up?
He went from Celta Vigo to Barca. I've got Diego Simeone.
Did he manage Rome? When did he manage Roma? Did he manage Roma before Barca?
He managed Roma for 3 months.
After.
He
Tom is clapping, my brother. Here's the thing. If I did the opposite
can you let me finish? Can you let me? I've still got more.
Yes, go on.
Diego Simeone went from Racing Club in Argentina to Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
I didn't even know he managed another club.
And
yeah,
Unai
that's one
Emery,
legitimate example.
Unai Emery had it twice. He went from Almeria to Valencia. Then he went from Spartak Moscow to Sevilla.
All 4 clubs are similar levels except Almeria. And we're talking about massive clubs.
Why can I not have Mourinho then? Because, okay, I'll change my Mourinho. One. Mourinho went from Leida in Portugal, Portuguese third tier, to Porto. I'm done it all.
Okay, I'll give you that. Now you're right. No problem. Okay.
So it's not, yes.
So you have 2 examples.
Some managers struggle at it. The likes of Potter, the likes of Villas-Boas, the likes of fucking Gerrard and Lampard. Yes, but they actually have not been able to hack it at the level that Amorim has. We
So you
celebrated
went all
Gerrard
the
winning a
way
fucking
back.
Scottish League. That was what we
Okay,
done.
you went all the way back to Arsene Wenger, who is a dinosaur, and all you could give me is 3 examples. I could give you 300 examples.
Have I
of
only
managers-
given you 3?
Because that's the 3 we agreed that actually matter on your list, which
So,
is Mourinho,
I've got
Simeone.
Mourinho. You've given me Mourinho.
Yes,
'Cause of-
Simeone, 100%.
Conte,
Conte, yeah, that's the 3rd.
Enrique.
Okay, 5 examples, whatever. 5 examples in the last 30 years. I could find you 300 examples of players who made that step up and failed.
Great. Did
So
these
it's more
ones that
likely
made
to
did
fail
these
by
ones that made the
definition.
did these ones that made the step up and failed have the same pedigree as Amorim in terms of winning trophies?
Can I just say
In terms
that
of winning
I came
football,
into the stream.
in terms of
Some
usurping
probably.
monopolies in leagues?
Can I just say,
Okay,
I
but
came into
then,
the
but then
stream.
Graham
I
Potter
came into the stream
won
feeling
the
quite
Swedish
depressed.
league with a shit team.
I'm actually very happy now. Thanks very much for this, guys. I appreciate it.
The
Yeah,
Swedish
you were
league does
supposed
not
to be on my
compare-
side. I was here doing a 1v2.
No,
Thanks,
this has been so entertaining.
this guy, bro.
Did he even win? Did he even win the Swedish league? I thought he won a cup. I thought that was all
You know,
he
Tom
fucking
Little,
won.
what
mate, a
this
cup.
needs? This needs the Hossam X Tom Little. I'm telling you right now. It's just
Right, let's go. Let's go.
You,
Let's
you know the
find
funniest
what-
part before we wrap up? This whole stream we ain't even spoke about the City game, but like 5 minutes, bro.
Oh, yeah. I even forgot. That's why we're here.
Sam Potts didn't even win the league in Sweden. He won a cup. He won a cup. That was it. Amorim's got 3 of those.
No, he won
And
the
a
league, I
league.
swear, Potter.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
They've never actually won the league.
We'll
They've never won the league. He won the.
I don't even know where Potter came from. I can't even lie.
I'm
What
gonna-
team
I'm
was he
gonna-
running?
If there's any Swedes here, I apologise for the pronunciation. He won
Big
the
up J-Lo, man.
Svenska Cupen in 2016-17.
And he literally won in 2012. He won the Division 1.
He wasn't the manager in 2012.
Bro, it literally says it in front of your face. Just go to Graham Potter's Wikipedia
Graham
page. I'm
Potter.
literally on it.
Yeah, you do realize that's not. You do realize that's not the Swedish First Division. That's
Yes,
the
it is.
equivalent of the champ. No, it isn't. The
Super.
the Superettan is.
Hey, tomato. He went from Brighton to Chelsea.
No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's the 3rd tier. He won the 3rd tier. He won League One.
Tomato. Once again, he failed at the end of the day.
Ruben Amorim won a Portuguese league, and back-to-back cups in back-to-back years. Once with Braga as well. Braga, who hadn't won shit. So Amorim has done that jump himself already. He went.
Let me check.
How
that
long?
resume for
He
us.
played Portuguese team.
Hussam and Rex, yeah. How long would you let's just say in a hypothetical world that Klopp gets given, in fact, there isn't a number. There's no such number. Let's just say Klopp signs whoever that he's trying to sign in the summer, right? How long do you then give him to be able for you to be like, yeah, no, I'm still with Klopp? Like, is it a case of you're giving him like a full season? Is it a case of maybe if we're sitting 5th, 6th by, I don't know, October, November, December, you're thinking, has he really turned it around, etc.? Like, how long do you kind of continue this Klopp in, shall we call it? Even though I don't really like saying that, but yeah, how long do you kind of give?
Answer first because he's been quiet for the last hour and a half.
Okay.
Go on.
So I remember when I first put a timeline on this, saying that I'm giving him at least this season and all of next season. As soon as the words "all of next season" came out of my mouth, everyone on the panel came for me straight away. So
I'm here to keep quiet. I'm not even going to say it.
But look, I am. People say there's no room for loyalty in football and sentimentality in football. I think there is. Football is life is sentimental, man. It doesn't make any sense to support a football club. There's no real reason for supporting a football club because it hurts you more than it does gives you pleasure, but we still do it because we're idiots, right? I am giving Klopp.
Speak for yourself.
Right now, I would say I'll give Klopp all of next season. Look, if things will change, if we're in the bottom 4 halfway through next season. Or something, things
I don't think it'll be
really
that bad. But
okay, but say if we're playing, then I'll have to be there and see how we're playing.
Forget even maybe that. Maybe just we're not in a title race. I'll just say that. Let's just say or maybe your objective to next season might be, I don't know. Like for me, you got to win the Prem or bust. You know what I mean? There's no alternative to that. I mean, unless you come second again by 1 point, maybe then I'll think, okay, fair enough. But that's what I'm asking you. Like, what for you then means a good season, shall we say, for next season? Forget even just about how we play. What's a good season for you?
If we get the recruitment that I think we need and that we should be getting, we should be looking at bringing in, 3 midfielders, centre back, and potentially an attacker or a full back or something.
What if Klopp doesn't want to bring these midfielders as well? Sorry, I'm just adding questions.
I mean,
because we think that we want 3 midfielders. I don't think Klopp wants 3 midfielders. I just think that we want 3 midfielders.
I think he wants at the very least. I think he wants 2. I think at the very least.
Yeah. I agree.
And like it's very rare that Klopp's come out and said in the past, we're going to strengthen in the summer, or we're looking at doing things in the market. He doesn't really make those kind of statements. He hasn't really made those kind of statements in the past. I think that the extent of our capitulation, if you want to call it this season, means that there's nowhere to hide. We either recruit and make very important signings in key positions this summer, or this downfall is going to continue and probably accelerate. So, and if it accelerates, then probably Klopp's going to be out of a job in some way anyway. So, I think he's got the best interest of the club at heart. I think we can definitely challenge next season with the right additions. If for whatever reason those additions don't come in, then I'll have to evaluate and see, then maybe reassess. But really, we still have plenty of very, very good players, world-class players, and who are capable of playing to a high enough level. So if we with the right recruitment, I think we definitely can challenge. And if we don't, I'll be very disappointed. But I need to give Klopp this opportunity to redeem himself, and these players the opportunity to redeem themselves. Mm-hmm. Like people will say, Trent's obviously going through a bad time. No one's suggesting get rid of Trent, but lots of people are coming for him. I want Trent under a new team with a new refreshed Klopp and all that kind of stuff. Let's see what he does next season. But what I will say is everyone's future is kind of on the chopping block next season.
There's a lot on the line. Yes, there's a hell of a lot on the line next year. I mean, look,
I think we're going to do 18 therapy sessions next season. By the way,
don't say that.
Just remember, I said 18. Someone clip that up and just remind me next season.
If we hit 18 therapy sessions next year, what position are we in?
We're on 19 now, and as you said, we were supposed to be on 20 now, and I'm pretty sure we probably missed another one as well.
But is that because you don't think we're going to get the recruitment right, or you don't think, or I mean, what do you think?
I think that the recruitment side of things, I think we want something different to Klopp. I don't think we all want the same thing. I don't think he's ever shown me ever that he's always wanted what or even just the general consensus kind of wants. I don't see it like that. Hence the reason why Hassan was mentioning about Klopp's talent ID and all that. Like, I don't feel like he looks at it the same way that we do, kind of thing. So I don't know, when we say right recruitment, what's right for us might not be right for Klopp. So it's hard to realistically say if it's going to be right, because the reality is he might only sign 2 midfielders and we might be sick next season. Do you get like, I don't know like how that's going to work out. I just think that other teams are going to get significantly better, and I feel that Liverpool are standing still in some way, shape or form, not just through tactically, but just in every aspect, with the owners, the manager, the players. Like, I just feel like we're at this kind of crossroads, and I just think that other clubs, they've got a lot more kind of going for them in terms of what they're trying to fight for, what they're trying to do. We just seem to be, it's like we missed the boat, we missed the trick, almost like by maybe not doubling down and winning maybe more than what we should have won. Whereas you look at teams, forget Manchester City because they're just a freak team. You look at teams like Newcastle, they're going to be trying to challenge for Europe. So they've got that kind of going on. You look at Arsenal, if they win the league, they're going to try and obviously then continue that for next season. You look at Manchester United, they've already got themselves 1 trophy. They're trying to build with Erik ten Hag. What happens with them? I don't know. Tottenham, they'll have a new manager. I feel like we're kind of in this, we were sick like 2 seasons ago, Last season, we almost won a quad, but we didn't. We ended up winning the 2 lesser of the trophies. But cool, we were thereabouts. This season's now been a bit shit. Where do you even go from this season? You're going to have to do what Hussam said, which is you're going to have to do the Chelsea, go from 10th or wherever it was to winning the league. That's the only real thing that I see in terms of turning it around. Anything, look, if we get 4th next season, Klopp's got to go and he just got to pack his bag, because I'm not here to fight for 4th. Like, that's not what was supposed to happen once you reach a certain level. It's supposed to maintain that. However that happens, I don't care, but you just maintain it. And he hasn't really done that. Since we won the league, we finished 3rd. This season, we're going to finish potentially outside the top 4. And we only won the league like 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? And so only 1 season since we won the league have we come 2nd. Like, that doesn't scream to me that this is a manager who's going to stay there for too much longer in that sense. But like you said, recruitment, anything can happen. I don't think we're going to get the same type of players though.
Two seasons outside the top 4 is difficult to defend. I
agree with that. Yeah. But for me, I actually agree with that perspective. Like, it's never like a thing for me in terms of objective. It's a feeling. If I feel like Klopp can take us forward, I'm gonna just say like Klopp can take us forward. This is simple as that. For me, I might even turn this summer. I don't even need to wait till next season. I don't know. I cannot put a time limit on it. If this summer I see him come out with some sort of quote like, "Oh, we just need Jude," and for example, if he changes his mind and he says, "All we need is Jude and we're gonna win everything," then that's when I'll turn. Like, it could be just a feeling for me. I just think maybe he doesn't take us forward. Last 3 super chats before we wrap up. Klopp minds in context, out of context, yes. In context, no, that was not a step up like that. It's not real. Go watch where Dortmund were when before Klopp took over. United are more fashionable than Liverpool. That makes them bigger. Fact. They got into the spotlight during the .com internet bubble. Helps their case. I understand that. I agree with you completely. The problem is with that logic is, once again, if I do not like women with purple hair, there is no need for me to ask, do purple-haired women like me? Because I don't like them back. So the issue at hand is we don't sign world-class players.
It's always good to be loved. It's always good to be loved.
Then this conversation would have been worth it, because I want something.
No, Sam, you need that little ego boost. You sometimes need that ego boost, just that maybe you had a bit of a bad spell. You just need that little bit of I still got it. You need that tapping. It's all good scoring for 30 yards, but you sometimes need that tapping at the back post just to confirm.
Klopp wants names, not profiles. I'm watching him tactically. He needs to improve that as much as we need players. Bro, the problem is I've already criticized Klopp to the hills. Like, I've just criticized the fuck out of the guy. I've criticized him so much. I'm not even sitting here just defending him. I would genuinely say Klopp's our worst performer out of the 25-man squad. Like, in this whole, he's probably performed worse out of everyone. But once again, guys, the Chelsea shit just scared the crap out of me. I ain't gonna give this to the Portuguese Graham Potter with a league title.
Look at this, man. Look at this.
So for me, Andre Villas-Boas won the league in Portugal before he came. He's a shit manager. So for me, look, here's the thing. I'm just gonna give him a chance this summer. I want to see ruthlessness. I want to see wins. And then you have this selection coming out with more dumb fucking narratives. Imagine Zerbi walking in. Mo Salah been on podiums, World 11s. Van Dijk almost won the Ballon d'Or. Trent broke Guinness World Record. Robertson been in the team of the season. Fabinho, Thiago, all these guys won it all. You think they're going to be like fucking Evan Ferguson, who's 16 and is making his debut? Like, you have to be realistic as well. Anyway, listen, we're going to wrap it up here. It's an hour and 40 minutes, guys. This ain't a movie. Steven Spielberg ain't here, so we're just going to wrap it up.
Villas-Boas won it with Porto. Ruben Amorim won it with Sporting.
Yes, one guy won the race with the Bugatti, one guy won it with the Mercedes. I agree, the Mercedes is more impressive.
That's exactly what you give Klopp praise
they both
for,
won
though.
The race.
The fact that he...
So anyway.
Oh, look at this, man. Look at this. We're changing the narrative.
Listen, we are out of all competitions, Tom. You know how many Hussam X Toms we're going to have? I'm going to fight you, just not today. Everyone watching us right now, please don't forget to slap the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Everyone right now, man, like the video, subscribe. This has been one heck of a show. I like that argument with you. I feel like he fully understood me at the end. Like, we actually agreed 90%, but we just reached different conclusions. Everyone, 250 people in the house. Like the videos. We're only 9 away from 150. Big up to Ryan, Toby Selection, who's also rap star. Amin, Felipe, Qusay, Messi FC, Sohaib, Mo, Saturday, Shazak, Bunk, Kareem, and Rapstar, who is the same guy as Selection. Thank you guys for the super chats. Big up everyone who always sends in the super chat, everyone who likes, everyone who subscribes, all the love and support. Big up to you guys. We're gonna go around the lovely panel, and they're gonna let you know where you can find them. The guy who spoke the least is gonna have to be the last guy to shout himself out. So, G, where can people find you?
GTV, or the Jerry James show, and catch me debating with Hassan again on This Is Football. We're going to be debating again. Believe you me.
I'm glad you're back. I really am glad you're back. Genuinely, I'm glad you're back, my brother. And welcome back to the channel. Lord, it's been a while. I think the last time was probably 2 months ago, right? Even longer.
Yeah. It was before I went into hospital. And I went to hospital last month. So yeah,
it's like almost 2 months ago. Damn, it's been such a long time. Big up, man.
Remember, we had the international break, and then we had that 5-game winning run. So really, we had. See, look, when I wasn't here, we're winning. Now I come back, we're losing. Maybe I might be a bad woman. I don't know.
Shit, we will find out tomorrow.
I was about to say.
We're about to find out. Tom Little, I see your face every day. Where can people find you?
Just before we go into that, I decided to go look through that Villas Boas league that when he won it, and I went to Benfica. And you'll never guess who Benfica's record, like most appearance, is that year for midfield was.
Henderson.
It was Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim was a player when Andre Villas-Boas won his league title. Anyway, look, you can find me at Tom Little on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. My preview for Chelsea, not that I want to, but it's going to happen. That'll be live. I'll be doing that live tomorrow, like lunchtime-ish, just so people can get involved. Preview what is looking to be a loss to the BTEC Andrew Tate, and then we're going to go and face top of the league Arsenal, hold it to them. Who have we got after that? Who have we got after Arsenal? Leeds. We've got Leeds on a Monday night away at Ellen Road. Oh, screams 2-1 Leeds. Especially since they're in a relegation battle to make sure they stay up. Oh, they dunk on our heads.
Shut up.
My God, we could finish bottom half.
I just asked you where the people can find you, not where we can finish. Anyway, Raps, where can people find you?
You can find me on my new YouTube channel, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and that's my Twitter. That's my Twitter handle. So yeah, catch me on Twitter.
I think Liverpool will be disappointed in the comment section. I don't know if she DM'd you last time. This channel is just
there's room for all, man. There's room for all.
Hey, can I ask you that? Can someone tell me, is Paul Joyce is he? Someone we should really be. Know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, no. I keep seeing him trending.
You know how earlier Tom Little spoke on patterns?
If you say Paul Joyce sits alone at the top. If Paul Joyce says something, there's actual stuff behind it.
Paul Joyce is above Romano for Liverpool.
I don't believe any of them, but if you're saying that he's one of them, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. Have you seen those Twitter pages that do the Liverpool news now? Have you seen how far James Pearce has fallen in their rankings?
Yeah, he's at the bottom of the rankings. Fuck it up. Our time can change.
He used to be like the elite of the elite. He's now like silver. He's now at the same level as caught offside.
Hold that, James. I will not cuss because it's Ramadan. Hold that. You block me on Twitter because I call you out on your crap. You went 0 from 10. Even Russell Westbrook scores a 3 when he takes 10.
Oi, leave Russell Westbrook out of this. Best on the player ever. Leave him out.
See you guys tomorrow, inshallah, for the watch along. Hey. Bye bye.